Do you always end up with those horrible marks on the side of your nose when your makeup has come off with your glasses? I've had so many of you guys wanting this video, so now I'm going to show you exactly how to avoid it. How annoying is it when you have glasses on or sunglasses and you don't want to take them off because you know that makeup is going to be slipping and sliding everywhere around this area? Well, I saw some comments from you guys, actually quite a few of you, asking for a video on how to do makeup when you wear glasses or sunglasses. So I myself wear reading glasses and I like wearing my sunglasses, but a lot of the time I used to worry about the fact that if I wear them, then when I take them off, like all the makeup is gonna be all weird. So I figured out a solution for this. So this is exactly what I'm gonna be showing you. Now we're starting from scratch, nothing on the skin. A lot of it has to do with every step of the way, basically. So it's not just one thing that you need to do. So we're gonna start with our skincare first. This is my MAC Hyper Real brightening eye serum. It comes with a really cute applicator, so I am just gonna, oh, this is really cooling actually. And I have really sore eyes at the moment because I had a cold. So I'm dealing with a lot of redness and just sensitivity around my eyes. My BOBBI BROWN Vitamin Enriched Face Base. Okay, so you wanted to get on all of your usual skincare, right? And the next step is your base and making sure that none of it comes off. So now that we've got everything on, I want to make sure that there's not too much kind of product that's sitting around this area. So we're going to make sure there's not a whole load, because sometimes when you put your eye cream on, it can end up kind of like, you know, you're left with a lot in a certain area. So really make sure that you haven't got a large amount of product anywhere in particular. Now, next step is using the right primer, because we don't want too much product to be built up in this area. The whole point is that we don't have so much there so that it doesn't kind of move around when we put our glasses on and we're not left with these horrible glasses like kind of mark. So you want to use a primer that is matte. It's going to keep the area matte. But what if the rest of your face doesn't require that? Well, that's fine, because this is where you can target certain areas. So the same way that if we're oily in certain areas, we'd use a matte primer, and we want glow in certain areas, we'd use a glowy primer, like a hydrating primer. It's exactly the same way. So we're going to be using the Vanish airbrush primer from Hourglass. Right, we only want a very small amount of this, so we're only going to apply a little bit to the tips of the fingers, and we're going to pat around the nose area. Don't apply too much, because we really don't want too much product build up around this area. You can apply this matte primer wherever else you feel like you want that kind of matte finish, especially around the T-zone if you get a slightly oily T-zone. Now, before we apply any concealer anywhere, what we want to do is add a little bit of powder. Let me show you what we're going to do. I've got my Real Techniques brush. I'm going to dip into my Makeup by Mario setting powder. I'm going to press along the side of the nose. This is just going to further mattify the area. Now let's do the concealer on the areas that we want to apply it. I'm going to apply my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. Just press this over the eye area. Just going to press into my powder and then press onto the eyelids. And then dust off. Okay, same thing on the under eye. Just going to cover up the dark circles and redness. Don't apply it too close to the side of your nose, because we're going to deal with that area in a second. God, my skin is super red at the moment. I'm just dealing with with weird allergies at the moment. I mean, the main area you want to make sure you're not applying too much, but you're also very strategically applying targeted products, is along this area, because this is generally where you get that smudging from glasses. So another area I just want to like add a bit of concealer to is here, because I just want a bit of lift. So my sponge is damp and I'm just buffing this in. Keep it in the same area. You definitely don't want a lot of foundation or concealer around this area on the side as well, because that's where the glasses tend to touch as well. Again, make sure there's not too much product around this area. Okay, now my foundation, I'm using my MAC Studio Radiance. I'm actually loving this foundation at the moment. I kind of go through phases, but this at the moment is giving me a really nice glow. This is NC38. I'm just buffing it into my sponge first. We're going to start from the forehead and work our way down. And I'm just bouncing the sponge all over. Down the nose. You can apply everything as normal at this point, because we're going to deal with the inner corners afterwards. Okay, you're going to get the back of your sponge and you're just going to press onto the areas right here, which is where the glasses sit. All we're doing is just soaking up any excess product that's sitting there. You really don't want any extra foundation on that area. You're kind of drying it up so it's not so fluid. Now we're going to get the powder puff. We're going to press into the setting powder. We're just going to press it right there on the side. You're going to leave it there. We're just literally going to leave that as it is. Now we're going to carry on with the rest of the base as normal. So I want to use the tip of my sponge to just make sure there's no product sitting in my under eye lines. And I'm just going to apply my powder, just pressing it in. You don't need to touch the side of the nose yet, just let that sit there. This is my Makeup by Mario F2 brush. Okay, so I'm going to use my Benefit Mighty Fine Brow Pen, and I'm just really loving this at the moment because it's actually just really good. And I've got my Kosas Brow Pop Nano in dark brown. I'm kind of starting to love this pencil more and more because it doesn't snap. And I'm just gonna fill in some bits which were a bit sparse. Also, do you guys really want to help us to grow this channel even bigger? We are nearly at 600,000. That is crazy. I have a goal to be able to get as close to 1 million this year. I don't know if we're able to do it. I know it's a bit of a stretch, but it would really, really help if you like this video, if you subscribe, because so many of you guys actually watch these videos and you're not subscribed. So if you just subscribe, it just means you're helping this channel to grow, and it also shows your support. If you get anything out of this video, I'd really appreciate it. And also, if you hit the bell button, it means that you won't miss any future videos. So yeah, thanks in advance. Okay, let's add a little bit of blush. I'm gonna try something new. This is REM Beauty. This is Stars in the Sand Satin Matte Blush. Let's see what this looks like. I'm gonna use the brush as well. I don't know what this brush is, but it's slanted. Oh, it's B1. So we're just gonna press into this. Wow, that's a lot of pigment. Let me just press onto a tissue. Okay, very pigmented. Don't actually need a lot, so I am just gonna press this along here. I wanna see what this color's like. It's so pretty. Oh, that's a nice color. It's like this kind of terracotta. It's like a warm, deep sand. It's really pretty. Just always dab on the back of a tissue though, because this has some insane pigment. Isn't this Ariana's makeup? Ariana Grande. She's got the most amazing voice. Got the blush on, I really like that. Just gonna add a little bit of sculpt. This is my Guerlain Terracotta bronzer and my Hourglass veil brush. Just gonna add a bit of warmth around this area. Fenty 200 brush, Fenty Sunstalker in Island Ting. Use the tip of my brush, dab it on a tissue. Don't worry about the sides of your nose with the powder. You're gonna carry on with everything else. We are just gonna sculpt the nose just a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna line my lips. This is my Wonder Skin 360 Contour Lip Liner in Saddle. I tried this the other day and I really liked it because it's not overly warm. Wow, this is like really glossy. This is my Makeup Forever Super Boost Gloss in number 10 Juicy Peach. That is like super shiny. Let's curl these lashes. I had some of you actually message saying that you've transitioned over, or not transitioned, kind of like converted over to these Kevyn Aucoin lash curlers because I was talking about them in a recent video and how good they are. They don't pinch your skin. I know you would think that every lash curler is the same, but it really isn't. And honestly, I can't tell you enough because I have done the hard work for you by trying so many different ones, and every time I've like hurt myself because I've pinched the skin. These are the only ones that don't pinch your skin, and you can be a little bit more kind of relaxed when you're doing it. Whereas with other curlers, I just feel like they're very, it's like, you know, and you're like, you actually intentionally try and pull it out a little bit more, which doesn't give you the best curl. Yeah, just in case you missed that video, you want to try that out. I can feel this tingling now. This is definitely tingling, but just a little bit. We're gonna use the Benefit Bad Girl Bang mascara today. Something different. This is actually a really good mascara. It's been sitting on my desk and I just haven't got around to using it. But I will definitely use this again because it's like, it kind of defines your lashes, obviously, like most mascaras do, but it's not like overly thick, and I like that. Plus, I do find that when you're wearing glasses, you don't want lashes that are super thick underneath because it just looks weird. It just looks, everything looks quite dark around the area. So I find that when you're wearing glasses, it's nice to make the eye area look quite bright. So try and stay away from things like eyeliner or everything, because I feel like you don't need all that when you're wearing glasses. I really tried to leave this gloss on, but I'm really not a gloss person. And every time I look at myself in the mirror, I'm just like, wow, that is too much for me. I really love the color, but I need to tone it down a little bit. That is so much better. It's just not in your face. I just can't deal with wearing gloss, like so much gloss. So yeah, I think that's a lot better. It's a little bit more wearable now. Okay, so let's deal with these side bits here because we've left that. Now I want to get my brush. There's nothing on this. We are just gonna literally dust this away. Ultimately, what we've done there is let that whole area kind of bake for quite a while. I personally don't like baking the under eyes or anywhere else because I feel like you end up with quite a cakey finish that way. But with this, it's such a small area that you're working on, like you can get away with that. You really want it to be as matte as possible and you don't want any of the makeup to start sliding around. So now when it comes to putting your glasses on, we know that we've dealt with the right area. I don't wear my glasses often because I feel like they do really magnify my eyes. I've caught myself in the mirror sometimes and I'm like, whoa, because my eyes are just so big with these glasses. As you can see, the area is nicely set there. The only other area that we kind of like it's touching the skin is here, and I didn't actually apply a lot of makeup there. Some people may find that the bottom of the frame touches the cheeks, but that really depends on A, how big your glasses are, and B, how big your cheeks are. So if you feel that it does touch that throughout the day, then I would suggest trying to set it in a similar way to how we set these side bits here. I've tried this myself many times where I just wanted to wear my glasses for the day, and it's been fine. I've not had to deal with any kind of makeup coming off anywhere. So hopefully that has shown you exactly how you can set that area and avoid any makeup smudging. I do want to ask you guys, are you subscribed to the Beauty Breakfast Club, which is my magazine online? It's a community which is growing so big. Honestly, I'm meeting so many of you guys. We're chatting on the chat and it's just so good. It's just so nice to actually talk to you guys. It has features on there, which means that when you opt as a paid subscriber, so you can either opt for a free subscriber, which basically you get the odd newsletter here and there, or you can opt for the paid version, which by the way, literally is like buying yourself a coffee a month. That's all it costs. And you can pay monthly or pay it all in one go. That means that you join a massive community of people who are all obsessed with beauty, want to know everything to do with new releases. You get first access to stuff, you get new releases. You're actually getting tutorials on there as well, by the way, which are all written with demonstrations, hacks, everything on there. So it's stuff that you can keep referring back to. It's almost like having your own kind of like project of beauty going on there. It's really good. And anyone who is part of the paid subscriber community, we do get to chat in a group ourselves. So I'm actually getting to know a lot of you, and it's so nice to chat to some of you. Like I have, what names can I think of the top of my head? We've got Alexa on there, we've got Ruby on there, we've got Jack on there, if that's how you pronounce her name. There are so many of you guys that I'm meeting there, and we're talking, and they're even having an input into newsletters that I'm writing. So you get a newsletter every other day, you get so much content there, and I'd love to see you over there. There is nearly 600,000 of you here. If even a few of you can go over, it would mean the world. If you get anything from these videos, I'd really appreciate if you could show your support over there, because I'm hoping to actually do a lot more with that. Like I want to be able to do like virtual events and like live in-person events and see where that goes. And I want you guys to be part of it. So join now, because the people who were there at the beginning are going to be with me right to the end when things get big. So I'd love to see you over there. If you have any questions or anything to do with these glasses, anything, let me know. Hopefully this has helped you. I did see your comments. I read a lot of them this morning, and I was like, said to my husband, I was like, right, we need to do this video because these guys are asking for it and I want you guys to get what you want. Any questions, let me know. Don't forget all the products are listed in the description, and I'm gonna see you next time.